Hello everybody, it's Rebecca here. Thanks for joining me for another Sims 4 build. I'm really excited about today's video. I might say that about all my builds, but I'm really excited about today's video because I finally added CC back into my game. I took it out this summer because we had a major update, and then another update was announced, and then another update was announced, and I just kept it out of my game. I have some limited mods in my game that I always try to keep up to date, but with the CC, I was just like, I'll just keep it out, and then once all the updates are finished, I will put it back in. And I think we're finally in a clear zone, so I decided to put it back into my game. I had a few sets that I really wanted to use, and I had an idea for a build that I really wanted to do. So that's what we're doing today. I'm really loving all the pieces that I used in here, and I'm really excited to tell you all about them. So this will be a mix of, I guess you would say Max's Match. I don't know what word I was trying to think of here, but it's a mix of both CC and vanilla. So I am using mostly CC for the build section. Probably about half of the items used to decorate the home are CC, and the other half are items from the vanilla game. So I think they blend together really well. You'll have to let me know what you think. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I ended up loving this home a lot more than I ever thought I would once I finished it. So I'll tell you a little bit about the items that we're using. The main one is going to be the Arcadia build set by Peacemaker. It's a large CC set that includes windows, doors, and archways, and it is a really beautiful Australian-inspired build set, and I love the pieces in this. The style of this home, I would say, is Japan-y, with like a hint of like earthy, rustic. I don't really know what to call this home besides just like modern. This is definitely a modern home with a lot of modern elements in a really traditional shape. But these pieces from that set are pieces that I would want in my real dream home. The archways are really beautiful. They're pocket archways with like sliding doors. They don't animate because they're just regular archways, but they are so pretty. I really love them. And the big windows are just the perfect rectangles and squares. I really love them. And those sliding doors are really nice as well. So I loved using these pieces to create a really architecture forward design, and yeah, love those items. We're also using a set from Pierisim called STEFAN. It's a multi-series or multi-set series, I guess, and I use the wallpapers and tiles in the kitchen and in the bathroom, and they're these really beautiful wood plus tile mix wallpapers. You can see right now on the screen here in the kitchen. It's so beautiful and it's so cozy, and they come in some really great swatches as well. And then in this kitchen, I am mixing together CC pieces for the kitchen. I believe I'm not sure, but I only used 3 CC creators for this build. I decided to limit the ones I was using so it'd be easier to link all the sets that I used. So we are using Pierisim, Peacemaker, and Myshunosun in this build. So anything you see that CC is from one of those 3 creators. The decor I'm putting down now is definitely from Peacemaker. I downloaded a kitchen set that they made really recently, and I'm gonna do another build with that one because it's this monochromatic kitchen set that I love, and it is exactly the pieces that I wanted for a specific build that I had in mind, based off of a picture that inspired me months ago. And so I really want to do that. So there'll be more CC builds in the future. But like I said, those are the 3 creators that you'll be seeing throughout the build. So I might misquote whose item I'm using, but for sure there'll be one of those 3. So like I said, Pierisim, Peacemaker, and Myshunosun. Incredibly talented CC creators. I mean, there are so many people who are talented and are creating content for us to download and use in our games. And I am just so grateful. They make incredible items. And I'm particularly a huge fan of Maxis Match items. I really want things to look like they fit in the worlds that I am building in. And I really love it when they combine well with the items that we have in-game already. So I was super thrilled with how the items from these CC sets integrated with the things that we have in the game. So yeah, really nice combinations. Right now I just put down a CC table with some CC chairs, but I actually switch out that table for the one that we got from Adventure Awaits. I love that table. It's so good. I want that table in real life. And yeah, it just worked together. The wood swatches go together really nicely with everything that we've gotten. So yeah, can't praise them enough. What we're looking at right now is a shelving unit in the living room. I am combining Myshunosun and Pierisim here. The bottom cabinets are from Myshunosun and the shelving units are from Pierisim. The shelving units are actually from a commercial build set, but they work really well in like mid-century homes. So I really enjoyed those. Here's the table from Adventure Awaits that I just mentioned. Really beautiful wood table, really solid and thick. I love it. I really want one in real life. And actually the lighting throughout the home, the ceiling lights and the wall sconces, those are pretty much all from the vanilla game. So the lights right now, these beautiful like paper lantern ceiling lights are actually from City Living. I think the default swatch is like yellow or pink or orange. It's like a really bright color, but it does have white and gray and black swatches in it as well that look really like, you know, earthy, especially in this type of modern build. So you can go bold with it. It's a light that I really love using in my more colorful modern builds, but it also fit really well in the kind of, yeah, more earthy type of build that I was doing here. Here in the bathroom, this is the primary suite, and we're mixing items once again. That bathtub is my favorite bathtub from Adventure Awaits. The shower and the toilet, the vanity, including the sink, are all from the same STEFAN bathroom kit, I believe, as well as I mentioned before, the wallpapers and the tiles. And then I used some decorations from the sleek bathroom kit for the toilet paper and the shower stuff. And yeah, those items all go together really well, as well as obviously the shower dividers. The swatch that I put down matched the wood tones really nicely. It's kind of this more brownish, orangish swatch that's a little bit different from the gold one. So that worked together really well. The wood slat wallpaper, that's from Businesses and Hobbies, and I use both the warm brown version as well as the white version throughout the home for accent walls. So those look really beautiful together as well. The shape of the home is super basic. It's just an L shape with a backyard in the back. So the roofing was very straightforward. This is a shape that I really love building as well. If you check out my gallery, which my username is the same as here on YouTube, I've done a couple of builds that are in this shape that are also, I think, specifically kind of like maybe like a farm style of home, just because of the steel roofing, which I really, really love that look. It's really good. And I love the shape of home. So this home ended up being something that felt like a dream home to me. It wasn't my intention to build like a dream home. When I started building this, I just wanted to build like a small family home with really specific style in mind. But at the end of this, I was like, oh, I love this layout. I really love the size of this home. It's really kind of like the perfect mid-size home, if you ask me. And for the exterior, I decided to go for kind of an implied like clay or adobe siding. So I am using this kind of like orangey swatch that matched the windows really well. And then later on in the video, I do change the foundation to match the wallpaper so that it looks a little bit more seamless. I did like this kind of white brown thing going on, but I decided to make it a little bit more cohesive. And I thought a home like this being built out of the country, for example, would want to maybe focus on those kind of more natural elements. So I kept a lot of white in the entrance just because that's where I wanted there to be contrast and that kind of modernity compared to the more natural elements of like the clay siding and the wood windows. So I think I achieved that. The spandrels and columns are also from Adventure Awaits. And I was so happy with how so many of these wood swatches went together. They're not perfect matches, as you can see right now on screen. The wood that I have for the windows and the wood slats don't seem to go together like perfectly, but I kind of like that too. I think sometimes, especially I can speak for myself, when I'm using woods, I kind of want to match all the woods perfectly, but in real life, you know, you're not necessarily going to have 100% matching woods in everything in your home unless it is specifically designed for that. So I wanted the built-ins to match because I imagine this is a more newly constructed home. So the person who would have built this home would have wanted obviously like the wood on the floor and on the windows to match really well. That doesn't necessarily mean that like all the furniture pieces have to be the same wood tone, for example, but they are very complementary. So I'm happy with how that came out. We've got some more like lighter yellowy woods in combination with this more darker reddish saturated wood. And yeah, I think that works really well together. And of course, I have to use my favorite shelving from the Sleek Bathroom Kit. Those white shelves are just my favorite piece, probably one of my top 5 favorite pieces in the entire game. I think I will never stop using them for my modern homes. I think they are such a perfect addition to like living areas or putting behind beds so you have a little bit more storage. It's so versatile. It's an item that I can't get enough of it. I think even if I do, for example, like in this, when I'm doing like a CC build mixed with stuff from the game, even if I was doing like a pure CC build, I would probably end up using those shelves because they're just so good. I really love them. So of course I'd use them. And they happen to match the CC fireplace really well. Those swatches are almost identical, at least with my G shade turned on. So yeah. Also, it might bother you just now, I put down the cabinet while I was checking the shelving behind it. It is overlapping and I do fix that. So if you're looking at this now and thinking like, that's not symmetrical, trust me, I know. And I do fix it for the screenshots. So sorry if that bothers you. I do fix it. I do catch it. I also really like the big picture windows that I put above the shelving here in the living room. I originally wanted like high windows so there would be less light because I wanted this to be, you know, the area with the television. And I couldn't find the right curtains to really fit these windows, but maybe they're built into the ceiling. But yeah, they fit really nicely. Obviously the scale is perfect to sit above the shelving, but it also created these beautiful picture frames of the outside because this is a lot in Henford-on-Bagley, surrounded by trees. It's right next to the river. So when you're sitting on the sofa and you're looking out the window, you just see this beautiful picture of green trees. And that contrasts so nicely with like the warm reddish, orangish colors that we've got going on the inside. So that was really good decision that I made, tooting my own horn, but it turned out really nicely. So I really love that. You can kind of get a sense of that here in this shot right now. Beautiful. I mean, this is so like, as I kept working through this home, I was like, oh, I love this home. I'd love to live in this type of home. I'd love to have like big wooden windows with like views of greenery outside. And I am a millennial, so, you know, cottagecore I think is associated with my generation quite a bit, especially in the last couple of years. I'm not a cottagecore girly, but I do have fantasies about living in a more rural area. And rural is a word that I really struggle with saying, so Sorry. But it's not very realistic for someone like me because I don't drive. So any daydream I might have about living out in the country, like surrounded by green trees, it has to be in an area where there's really reliable public transportation. And I can't say that is the situation with the country that I live in now, but perhaps in some other countries, you'd have a little bit more reliable public transportation. But yeah, anyway, so this is the office. I really like the layout of this house too, by the way. I think it's a really cool, realistic layout. And I loved having this like office next to the primary suite. And I do add an easel because I'm projecting and I'm an artist and all my offices, you know, end up being for artists. But I thought this maybe would have been like an architect's space or something like that. And it made me really miss the blueprint table that we had from The Sims 3. I don't remember if that career was specifically like an architect or an interior designer, but I really loved that item and I love that career. And it'd be really cool to have something similar, like a drafting table. That's what they're called. That's what I imagine would be in this office in particular. So, but yeah, really nice size, really cozy. Doesn't get any direct sunlight during the day. So if you do want to paint, you'll just have nice ambient lighting in there. And yeah, of course, love the wood details. We've got the wood wall with the slatting from the Businesses and Hobbies pack. And then I also do add the white version of that to some of the walls later on in the video, just to break it up a little bit more. And then of course I am mixing it with items from the vanilla game. So I added a lot of plants from the Horse Ranch pack, which fit really nicely in this home. I love all the dried flowers that came with that pack, as well as like the dried flowers from the Life and Death pack. I think it was already in the video, but that is also one of my top 5 favorite items. There is a flower vase. You can see at the top of the screen right now. It's in the hallway and it comes in these really lovely earthy swatches. And they do seem like dried flowers. So I think that's like the yellowish vase with the purple flowers. And it's so beautiful. I love that item. And then I'm using these small desks for the 2 bedrooms. These I think are kind of vaguely decorated for like teenagers. They could be guest bedrooms, but those desks are from Business and Hobbies. And then for both the office and the bedrooms, the chair that I use is from the Crystal Creations pack. It's this really lovely wood tone chair that fits really nicely with the more rustic elements of this house. And I also just really love that chair. It doesn't look like it's the most comfortable chair in the world. You'd probably want to put like a cushion down on it, but it is lovely and it comes in some great swatches as well. So yeah, I definitely like those. What you're seeing here is the backyard area, and I kept that pretty simple. There's not a whole lot to it when we get to a little bit of landscaping in just a minute. But I am also using, like I said, the spandrels and columns are from Adventure Weights, as is this decking foundation. And since the foundation, I made it a little bit higher than I did in the beginning, I wanted it to be closed off, so I did use the decking foundation instead. And I think it works really well, and it looks really, really pretty. I think this home would smell amazing. I think it would smell like wood. And because of the earthy colors, I feel like there would also be like a strong cardamom, cinnamon smell, like rosemary, eucalyptus. Those are the smells that I'm imagining for this home. Look, this home is gonna smell amazing. Just, you can picture it, I think. But yeah. And yeah, more clutter. Adding a lot of clutter. Love all the slots that we get on custom content shelves. Here I am mixing again. We've got some items from the vanilla game. So some items from Dream Home Decorator and Lovestruck, combined with some clutter that I believe is from Myshunosun. I think a lot of the office and book clutter is from the office sets that they made. Yeah, and they work, wonderfully, obviously. Love some Max's Match. This entryway here, I love this entryway. I love the green door. This table is from Adventure Awaits. Again, beautiful wood tones, matches really well with the rest of the CC content. And yeah, the computers are CC. I think maybe in the tray files, the office computer also ends up being CC, but I did initially put down just the city living computer because it is a really nice mesh and I'm a fan of that item. But then I forgot that I used it and ended up putting CC computers in the bedrooms. And like I said, these are just like vaguely implied to be, I think, like teenager or kids' bedrooms. If this was my home, because I don't have kids and I don't want any, these would be guest bedrooms. Maybe one of them would be a storage room or something like that. But I did end up doing like, they're not meant to be gendered, but there is like a pink room and a blue room. You know, I don't believe in any of those associations, but it looks that way. But just know that's not the implication here, okay? Anyone can have any color they want in their room, regardless, and that's that. And then the area here, so we do have some landscaping put down. The backyard just has a nice little table for outdoor dining. I do end up adding string lights as well. It's really cozy with the nighttime lighting. Although I don't think I got any screenshots of the nighttime lighting, but it does look really, really nice. And of course, I have to use the live edit grass from Cottage Living. I am building in Henford-on-Bagley, so this also integrates perfectly into the surroundings because that live edit grass is used all over this part of the world. But it's also just so nice, as I've said so many times, to add some texture to the ground and have little peats of peats. That's supposed to be bits and pieces of grass around the lot. So yeah, I think that looks really cute and cozy. And yeah, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this home. Is this the type of home that you would want to live in? Does this remind you of any home? I got this really nice comment on Tumblr when I was posting preview pictures that this home reminded somebody of a home that they used to spend a lot of time in when they grew up. And I loved seeing that comment. And I really like hearing what people think of homes, or like, you know, if they want to use them, or like what kind of story ideas they have for the homes that I post. Those kinds of comments, they super make my day. So if you've left a comment before saying you're going to play in it, or that you have some story ideas, or it's sparking your imagination, thank you so much. Those comments absolutely make my day. And if you've, of course, subscribed or liked my videos, I also want to say thank you. That is so awesome. I'm really happy to have you guys here. I think this is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. There'll be more CC builds coming out later. I really appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.